Okay, so today, this is the first day we're looking at rounding decimals. Here is our learning target and success criteria. We are learning how to round numbers in order to see it applied with with money and taxes. That is our learning target. And our success criteria is I can round to the nearest whole number, I can round to the nearest tenth, and I can round to the nearest hundredth. If you are copying your notes from the video, this is a good time to pause the video and go ahead and copy this down in your opening sheet. Go ahead and copy it on the learning target and success criteria in your opening sheet. Here is the warm up for today. So it says, let me blow this up. It says solve this equation by answering the question. So the equation you guys have is 9c plus 1 is equal to 10. And again, you will complete the warm up on your warm up sheet. Step one, it says, what number are you moving? So we looking at a two-step equation. The very first, all you doing is answering these questions, guys. So the very first question is asking which number would you move first, and that's what you will do answer for step one. Then it's asking you what is the inverse operation to move the constant. And again, if you don't remember the definition of constant, you can go back and look in your notes from the previous week, and we have constant listed. Then it's asking you what is the operation that's being done to C. So this piece right here, non-C, they're asking you what operation is being done. So is it addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? And you will state that here. After you state what operation it is, then you're going to state what the inverse operation would be. So if it was addition, the inverse would be subtraction. If it was division, the inverse would be multiplication. If it was multiplication, the inverse would be division. And then finally, step two is to solve. Go ahead and tell me what you get when you solve this equation. What's the answer for C? So again, this is your warm up, and please make sure that you copy this warm up down on your warm up sheet. Again, if you are copying your notes from the video, pause the video and go ahead and complete the warm up. All right, so here's the vocabulary we have listed for this for rounding. We have whole numbers. Make sure you copy down the vocab in your notes. We have whole numbers. It's a positive counting number. So it's all positive counting numbers that include the number zero. So here's a list: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these three dots mean that it goes on to infinity. So you can have 100, 200, 300, 400, 1,000, and it keeps going. The 10th place value is the first digit after the decimal that represents the 10th place. And it's also known as 1 part in 10 equal parts. Again, make sure you copy down this in your notes. And then finally, the last vocabulary word we have here is hundredths place value. It's the second digit after the after the decimal that represents the hundredths place. And it's also known as 1 part and 100 equal parts. And here's an example. We have 0 point, the 1, 2, 1, this is the first digit after the decimal. It's the 10th place. And then the 2 is the 100th place after the decimal, which is in the second place value. All right. Make sure you copy this in your notes, guys. It's just a notation. Make sure you remember which place values are where. So we have millions, hundred thousands, 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, ones, the decimal itself, the 10th place, the 100th place, and the thousands place. Your main focus will be the whole numbers, which is the ones place, the tens place, and the hundreds place in this week's assignment. Okay, so here are the steps for solving or steps for rounding numbers. The very first step is you want to underline the number to be rounded. That's step one. Make sure you copy these in your notes. The second step will be to circle the number to the right of it. Okay. So to the right of the number you underline, you're going to circle that value. And then finally, you're going to use this vertical number line, which again, you will copy in your notes to determine if the number should be rounded up or remain the same. So let's look at the vertical number line. 0 through 4, it says the digits on the right, rounding places remain the same. So if the number is 4 or below, so if it's less than or equal to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, then the digit will stay the same. You're not going to round up. If the value is 5 or greater, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then you'll increase the value by 1, which means you'll round up. So these are the steps for rounding. Now let's take a look at some of these examples. Example number 1, it says, so it's asking you to round the number below to the nearest 10th place. So we have 482.453. The 4, which is the 10th place, is the number that's underlined. That's step 1. Step 2 says now circle the number to the right, which is the 100th place, which is this 5. And now, looking at the number, we need to determine whether you round up or down. My answer here says since the number to the right is 5, then you will round the number 4, which is this 4 underline, up 1. So the answer here will be 482.5. Okay. Again, make sure you copy this example down in your notes. Let's look at the next example. We have round the number below to the nearest 100 place. So again, step 1 says underline the value, place value, which is a 3, is in the hundreds place. And then we're going to circle the number to the right of it, which is the thousands, 10,000s place. And so the number 9 to the right is, since the number to the right is 9, it says since the number to the right is 9, then you're going to round 3 up 1. So your answer is going to be 893.24 when I round it up. Okay. And again, using this number line, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If it's 5 or greater, then it will go up. Let's look at the next example. And please make sure that you copy these examples in your notes. Example number 3. They want us to round the number below to the nearest hundreds place. So we have 35.892. 9 is the hundreds place. The 2 is the 10th hundreds place, 10,000s place, I'm sorry. And so the 2 is below this line. Okay, so it's over here with 43210, which means that it says since the number to the right is 2, then you're going to keep the 9 the same. So my answer on this example, I get 35.89. Okay, and again, make sure you copy these examples in your notes. Example number 4. It says, round this number below to the nearest 10th place. So I have 35.842. 4 is my 10th place. 2 is my 100. Oh, I did this backwards. I'm sorry. To the nearest 10th. Let me double check. Nearest 10th. So actually, I'm wrong. It says nearest 10th. So it's the 8 we're looking at. It's the 4 we're looking at here. So again, this is why it's important to watch the video so I can check any error. And so it says, let's look at this. I'm looking at 4. Since the number to the right is 4, then 8 will stay the same. So again, I had a typo here. Make sure you fix that. So in this case, because it's asking me to the nearest 10th, my answer is going to be 35.8. Okay. So again, since my number was 4 here, which is over here at the bottom of this number line, my final answer is going to be 35.8. All right, let's look at the next one and the last example. This one says round the number below to the nearest hundredth whole number. So we have 33.042. 3 is the whole number, the 1. And 0 is my 10th place, the value I'm looking at on the right. Since the number to the right is 0, then let 3 stay the same. So my answer here will be 33. So remember, guys, with rounded numbers, you're looking at this number line, and it should be in your notes before the day is over. If the number is 4 or below, you're going to keep the number the same. But if the number is 5 or higher, then you're going to round up. Okay? Let's take a look at the classwork. You guys will be handed a number, a rounding numbers packet that I have given out during class time, and that's what you guys will be completing. And then if you are completing the work virtually, then you will just need to complete the Delta Math assignment on rounded numbers. Once you have done that, guys, for today, then you are finished. If you have any additional questions, please send me a message in Verge. You can send me an email, or you can feel free to ask me during class time. Have a great day. Bye.